Spotlight.
This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with V. Umashankar, Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, on Pragati and the journey to Viksit Bharat at 2047. The interviewer is Sarabjeet Kaur.
Pragati, the ICT-enabled multi-modal platform for proactive governance and timely implementation, symbolizes a result-oriented approach where decisions are closely tracked and delivery is ensured on the ground. As India marches towards the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047, such mechanisms play a crucial role in transforming intent into impact. In today's program, we will discuss how Pragati strengthens cooperative federalism, speeds up infrastructure and welfare projects, and reflects India's resolve to achieve inclusive, sustainable, and accountable development. To understand this in more detail, we have with us Mr. V. Umashankar, Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Mr. Umashankar, welcome to the discussion.
Thank you so much, and good evening to all listeners, also wishing them a very happy new year.
Mr. Umashankar, to set the tone of the program, at the outset itself, we'd like to know from you what were the problems being faced by the ministries that caused the Pragati platform to be implemented?
The highway sector is dependent on land and issues related to land because you can have a road only over land. A lot of this would depend upon land acquisition matters, where the acquisition would be carried out at the level of the state government. You also needed multiple clearances in the terms of forest clearances, wildlife clearances, utility clearances, construction approvals. So many a time projects would get stuck because of a lack of coordination. And there are layers within the ministry, there are layers between the central government and the state governments, and also within the state government. So when each of the layers would have to be negotiated separately, then projects used to get delayed for years on end. The Pragati platform provides a single platform for all the entities that are involved to collaborate with each other in a spirit of cooperative federalism and for national interest.
Sir, we'll also, taking cue from what you just said, you spoke about multiple clearances, there being delay because of, multiple clearances required, land acquisition issues as far as highways and road transport is concerned. So what was the ultimate objective of setting up this platform called Pragati?
This platform enables all these players to come on a single platform. So let me take a practical example. So if there is a project which has been approved and is being implemented at the level of the project directors, which is at the cutting edge level insofar as the ministry is concerned or NHAI is concerned. So there are certain problems that he encounters is that the land acquisition details have been entered incorrectly. So where does he go? Now, he has to then seek the cooperation of the state government. He sends across the proposal, and the proposal will go up the channel within that government and will take its time. Now, if within a reasonable time these issues don't get resolved, it gets flagged onto this platform. Once it gets flagged onto the Pragati platform, because it has the blessings of the Honorable Prime Minister also, these issues are then visible to higher officers, even including the level of the Chief Secretary in the states or the level of secretaries in the Government of India. So when the regular review within the ministry happens, then we realize that such an issue has cropped up, then directions go down the channels to streamline the clearances or even the issues of land acquisition so that the approvals are granted. In effect, we are a large country with multiple levels of players. So if we look to normal channels of communication to resolve issues, it becomes a problem. At some point, these issues will need to be flagged and will need some kind of resolution at levels above the cutting edge. The Pragati platform enables that. On top of that are the reviews that are conducted, one by the Honorable Prime Minister himself, in which all the chief secretaries of the states, all the secretaries of the Government of India, and all the parties that are involved in resolution of the issue come on a single platform, and where the directions of the Honorable Prime Minister are equally given across to all the participants. And that enables a clear direction in project implementation and towards national interest and in the spirit of cooperative federalism.
Mr. Umashankar, in the 50th meeting of Pragati held just 2 days ago, the Prime Minister said that projects do not fail only due to lack of intention, but also fail due to lack of coordination and silo-based functioning. What do you have to say about this?
Very true. I have been in the states. I have seen Pragati from the side of the states also, and I have been here in Government of India too. And the statement that was made is very, very true. Intentions are never wrong. Intentions are always that the project is completed. The intention is always that the project would benefit the people. And ultimately, if a highway gets constructed, for example, the primary beneficiaries would also be the people of the state. So intentions are never wrong. But then we get caught in our own siloized system of functioning because we see only certain levels at which these decisions get taken. And some of these problems never traverse up to the right entity for the decision making to happen. Now, having a collaborative platform of this kind enables issues to be flagged and resolved. So, for example, even during the 50th Pragati episode, there was one issue that we were facing concerning the state of Punjab. And over multiple phone calls between me as well as the Chief Secretary of the State Government and the Irrigation Secretary of the State Government and the Chairman of NHAI, we could come to a resolution of the problem, which probably would not have been possible at the lower level. So having flagged this as an issue, and an issue where all of us come together to collaborate to resolve, the decision making becomes that much faster.
Mr. Umashankar, you just mentioned about resolution with coordination and collaboration. Coming down to actual figures, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways budgetary allocation increased by 570%. And as you just mentioned in your briefing earlier in the evening, 2,095 issues faced in 1,463 projects and 1,968 issues out of them being resolved. Can you brief us about the project and issue escalation mechanism under the Pragati platform?
At the first level, as I mentioned, it is taken up only for the approved project and where the implementation is done at the level of the project director. So the project director encounters an issue. He raises it within the internal channels of NHAI or the ministry and in parallel also flags it on the Pragati platform. That immediately is visible in respect of the concerned entity. So if it's an environmental clearance, it will be seen at the level of the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. If it's a land acquisition, for example, it will be seen by the concerned Chief Secretary of the state government where the land is situated. I'm just taking a couple of examples here. Then once this issue gets flagged, then within the same entity, the problem resolution tends to happen. If it doesn't get resolved, then the secondary channel is a review which is conducted at the level of secretary coordination in the Cabinet Secretariat, where the higher level state entities come for a meeting, and during the meeting, certain reviews and certain coordination matters are sorted out. These are all within the parapet of the policy itself. Then there would be certain critical projects or certain irresolvable matters which are taking a lot of time. Then these get picked up for review at the level of the Honorable Prime Minister. And decision making then is much easier because there is greater clarity on how to proceed in certain matters, both at the level of the issue raising entity and the issue resolving entity. Let me take one example where we were on the other side. There was a gas pipeline to be laid by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. This was the Kochi-Kutanad Bangalore gas pipeline. That pipeline construction had been held up for over maybe 10 to 12 years for the purposes of acquiring the land for laying the pipeline. Considering the difficulties that they were facing, they approached through the Pragati platform, seeking permission for laying the pipeline under the National Highway Service Road. Although normally we will never allow a pipeline to be laid under the main carriageway, certainly not, but under the service road, we made an exception because of the problems that was being faced by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and also considering that this national project required implementation to be done. And this was flagged through the Pragati platform and post the review that was undertaken. As a result of which now the project is gathered steam, it is reaching completion. Something which was not done for a decade got resolved and it's being done. So this required some kind of, say, relook into the policy matter also that we were adopting, and that ensured that this project could be taken up and completed by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas.
Mr. Umashankar, you just spoke about environment clearance, and then we mentioned about breaking the practice of working in silos. In the backdrop of sustainable development and with due regard to the ecosystem, do you think Pragati also contributes towards avoiding maybe, forest areas or green patch when land is being utilized for development projects at the planning level itself?
As part of the Pragati platform, as an offshoot of the Pragati platform, emerged PM Gati Shakti. PM Gati Shakti brought the infrastructure, the layers, the various kind of assets that states, ministries control onto a common platform, which included the forest areas, which included wildlife preservation notified areas, so that at the time of alignment clearances itself, when we design an alignment, care is taken to ensure that wildlife preservation areas are avoided. Care is taken to ensure that if there are mitigation measures required, then those mitigation measures are planned in advance and they don't come up as surprises at a later stage. To an extent, the planning process has improved substantially because these are matters that are taken care of because of the process improvements that have come about because of Pragati.
Well, in today's tech-savvy world, we'd like to know from you, Mr. Umashankar, what role does technology have to play in the success of the Pragati platform and how this helps in giving us a more transparent system?
Technology tells us that geography does not matter. So if there are 10 people to be linked together, and as the Honorable Prime Minister was mentioning, each one of us are in our own places. We don't need to travel. We are in our own offices, in our own spaces. But we are connected together through using technology. And using the power of that technology, we are able to freely discuss, converse, and collaborate and resolve issues, all for a national interest only. So technology, development of portals or platforms such as Parivesh, while wildlife clearances and forest clearances are tracked at multiple levels, right down from the local forest officer, right down from the project implementing entities such as railways or highways or even the power sector. And both of them come together to collaborate, to work out, even if there are issues with respect to the forest clearances that get raised on the same platform, and the resolution then happens. So communication becomes that much faster. It is shorn of issues of individual personalities, so things move much faster that way.
Mr. Umashankar, we'll also like to know from you, how would you connect Pragati today with Viksit Bharat tomorrow?
We can't move towards Viksit Bharat unless the principles and the spirit of Pragati is into all of us, into all, when we say all of us, it means all in government, across, whether it's a state government, the central government, even the local bodies for that matter. Because the speed and quality and pace of execution of infrastructure projects, which is what I would think about, but Pragati goes far beyond that and also looks at delivery of benefits and schemes to the people at large. So to that extent, if we have to move towards Viksit Bharat, then the jointness of everything that is done by the government to improve the infrastructure, improve the economy, improve the delivery of services and benefits to the people at the most efficient cost and also of the highest quality. All this will get enabled through this platform.
As we conclude today's discussion, one message from the 50th meeting of Pragati stands out clearly. Development must be timely, accountable and outcome-driven. Pragati is not just a review mechanism, it is a reflection of a governance model where decisions are closely monitored and delivery is ensured on the ground. As India moves steadily towards the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047, platforms like Pragati underline the importance of speed, coordination and responsibility in nation building. Mr. Umashankar, thank you very much for sparing your time and giving us such valuable inputs.
Thank you.
You are listening to an exclusive interview with V. Umashankar, Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, on Pragati and the journey to Viksit Bharat at 2047. The interviewer was Sarabjeet Kaur. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
Spotlight.